Welcome to the Miracle You, guiding you on the journey towards finding passion and purpose, and how to discover, create, and live a life by your design. Whether your success has been plentiful or your missed opportunities have been overwhelming, we can help you become a more empowered, masterful person and show you how to share your gift with the world. It's time to inspire change from within with the host of the Miracle You, Vince Kramer.
Hello, imagination. I'm Vince Kramer, your host, and welcome to the Miracle You, where you learn about the magic of living your life by finding the example in real life. It's really important to be yourself and to bring the real you to the world, because when you show up in the world as the real you, you know that you're going to attract the right people into your lives, the people that are in alignment with who you are, both energetically, but also in your personal life and your business lives. To really know who you are, you have to get in touch with your belief system. And as our interviewee today talks about her belief system, she calls it the BS, the belief system, and how important it is to understand where your beliefs come from is probably one of the most important ways for you to move beyond beliefs that are holding you back, keeping you stuck in areas that you want to excel in or you want to expand in. The belief system was formed so early in our lives, and it was formed at a time when we didn't have a reasoning capability in our frontal lobe yet. We just start to develop that about 7 years old, and it's not fully developed until we're in our late 20s. So a lot of the beliefs that we have are based on perceptions of a child who hasn't had or didn't have the capability of that time to reason through the circumstances that they were experiencing. And these beliefs, if not looked at and not examined and not changed, because we can change our beliefs because they're not real, they're just something that we decided was the way life is or the way certain circumstances are, we can actually change them. And we can choose beliefs that support us. So as we go through our discussion today with our guest, just keep in mind that the belief system that she's talking about can be changed, can be altered, and can support you in being who you are in this world. Hello, imagination. This is Vince Kramer, and I want to welcome you to our podcast today. We've got a most exciting guest. I'm with Tye Miles. She's an entrepreneur, speaker, coach, wife, and mother. Known as the personal freedom expert, she recently left her successful multi-six-figure business to answer a higher calling to help girls and women escape societal conformity and reset their beliefs towards themselves. In doing so, they can create a positive and prosperous life that truly represents their uniqueness. Good morning, Tye. Are you ready to share the miracle of you?
Absolutely, Vince. I certainly am.
Excellent. We had a quite exciting morning today for the listeners. We've been trying to get connected for about 20 minutes today. And actually, Tye and I have been trying to get connected for about 2 weeks to bring her and everything that she has to offer to you onto the podcast. So, Tye, we're so glad that you're here. It's exciting to finally get a chance to talk to you about who you are and what you're doing. And really the bio that I just read, so short, and it's just really an introduction. Could you take a little bit of time to fill in the gaps and tell us a little bit about who you are, what you're doing, and even a little bit about your personal life?
Absolutely, Vince. First and foremost, thank you so much for having me today. Miracle You, the tribe. I feel so blessed to be able to share with you. And I do understand that introduction is very brief, and it is not a testament to everything I have come to be, the woman I have grown into. A little bit of backstory on me. I have about 15 years in the beauty industry, in the business of the beauty industry. I have grown from the age of 21 years old when I started my first business. I grew that business from nothing to 6 figures in 7 months, and then on to multiple 6 figures and earning millions in the beauty industry. As of the last 2 years, I kept having this strong discord, this strong discontent, resistance within me. Although I was in this very successful lifestyle to the outside, my marriage is great. I look great. My business is doing well. Everyone wants to be like Tye in my circle. I'm definitely an inspiration by all. And I thank God and the universe for that. But on the inside, I wasn't fulfilled. On the inside, the financial piece was no longer giving me what I need so that I can feel like I'm actually fulfilling my purpose on earth. It's good and it's great if I could be successful, if I can have this financial success, if I can have this personal growth. But that was not satisfying to me. It wasn't enough. And I held myself accountable to how can you take what you've done in your life? How can you take the shifts and the leaps that you've had personally so that you can have these huge quantum leaps professionally in your business and in your relationships? How can you do something? How can you organize this so that you can help other people have the same type of results in their life? So in me questioning that, in that voice, the call of my purpose getting louder and louder to me, it began to numb the very little satisfaction I was getting financially to the point where the money did not matter. I can go in and do more of the work, but it didn't matter. And so I knew that I had to do something to get me past where I was, to break through these doors of, living this more satisfying life that really felt consistent with, who I feel like the Creator created me to be and the woman that I want to become. This maybe seem like a difficult decision for other people. I just decided to shut the doors to my last business. It's crazy. How do you leave a multi-6-figure business and walk into something that you know absolutely zero about, but with 100% confidence? Although fear was there, although self-doubt was trying to get into my brain, I was 100% confident in my Creator's ability, the desire that He placed in my heart enough to leave everything behind and go forward into uncharted territory. And so with that being said, in the last 2 years, I have experienced amazing results that are off the chart, amazing results that was never on my vision board. I say this all the time. We are planners. We write on our vision boards. What I'm experiencing right now in my life is beyond my dreams. It's beyond anything that I could have written down in my past. And so that's my heart and that's my desire, is to share and show individuals, show women and girls, how to walk in that type of confidence, that type of knowing within themselves that it's okay to own your uniqueness, to walk in it, even if society, family, friends, communities, religious sectors, even if other people don't agree, if you feel that your Creator is urging you to explore something new and exciting, and even if it's uncertain and different, do it. And you'll be amazed at the opportunities that align and open up for you because of your faith in yourself and your faith in your Creator.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. It really takes us into where you are, and you're expressing your heart in a very great way. So it's really putting that information out for everybody to think about. I'd like to talk about the wake-up calls a little bit. So, some people don't even know what wake-up calls are, but other people think that a wake-up call has to be something really drastic, an accident, you're sick, something like that. But you experienced a wake-up call just in a knowing that there had to be more to life for you than that. So that was really what really pushed you into taking this next step. And closing your business is a huge step. And walking out into the unknown is where our future truly is. That's where our purpose truly is out in the unknown and making that step. Were there any other wake-up calls that happened in your life prior to that you were getting a little nudge to make that move, but you just didn't do it?
Absolutely. For me, I've been in ministry. I'm a licensed minister. I've been in ministry since I was all my life, but I was licensed at the age of 22. So I'm 36 now, and it's 14 years of actively serving in ministry. And my wake up call was after years of not only, being literally having a span of time for 10 years where I never missed a Bible study, never missed a Sunday school, never missed a Sunday service, and growing my relationship with God and seeing the same cycles repeating. This is just my personal life and my personal wake up call. It got to a point where I was standing in the pulpit after ministering a powerful message, and I'm like, the people are not responding. I see them getting excited outwardly, but I don't see a difference in their life. I don't see a difference truly in their character. Why is it that we as believers, we come into these places that are supposed to feed us spiritually, but it's beginning to seem more like a waiting room of sick patients? And just so deeply, my heart was just so, it was like rubbing sandpaper on an open wound while pouring salt. Like it was just like so saddening to me, because this God that I know that loves us so much and just has so much in store for us. And I just can't see why we can't truly walk in faith that what we believe, the promises that he has for us, that the universe has just given to us so graciously and bountifully and abundantly. Why are we holding ourselves back from experiencing that? Why do we want to be in our own pity? Why do we want to be victims of our circumstances? And I began to push for us to have, smaller moments of ministry where we can be more personable, smaller conversations where we can talk transparently about real issues within the church. And I can remember being transparent and them telling me, Tye, you're too transparent. We're not ready for this. And I was like, boy, oh boy, I don't understand this. So we are okay with just putting a pacifier in the mouths of people who are born to do absolutely amazing things. Like literally, problems will not be solved in this world unless we get them activated in faith, get them activated and undoubtedly believing that the desires that are in their heart are meant to solve a problem, are meant to contribute to our society and our world and fill a gap holistically in this world, in this universe. But we're just okay with status quo. And day after night, going to bed. Like I said, I had this success in my personal life, but I'm a very spiritual being. And so loud, that voice would not quiet. And I can remember beginning to question everything. It was so uncomfortable. It was such an uncomfortable experience, because here you have this Black woman raised in the South. I'm raised in Alabama. We're in the Bible Belt, And so everything is hyper religious. And here you have this woman who's been serving in church all her life since a little girl, active in the community, telling people to come to church, come meet me at Bible study, licensed at 22. I was the assistant pastor when I resigned after having a talk with my pastor, telling him, I understand what you believe, but I'm beginning to question everything. Not because I question the creator, not because I question the universe. It's because, I was really not sure where these questions are coming from, but I feel like I'm moved to explore these questions and ask these questions. And the more questions I ask, the more walls begin to come between me and this leader who had just grown me into this fierce, amazing, trailblazer of faith. Now I'm asking him questions that he's not comfortable with, that quite frankly, I'm not comfortable with. And I begin to question everything. Why do you believe what you believe? Why do you believe that blue is blue? And why do you believe that, I'm talking about the simplest things. I began to question everything. Nothing was making sense in my world. But that set me on this course. It was a wake-up call that set me on this course over the last 5 years, but particularly the last 2 years, of just opening myself up to explore, to give myself the gift of uncertainty, the gift of the most precious surprise gift ever.
One of the things about wake-up calls is that those desires that we have, when we start asking questions, that's the thing that's really making us look at who we truly are. So I understand exactly what you're saying. And so many people go through it, like your congregation, when they had those desires, but the fear to step out from those desires, that's definitely a wake-up call for them too, and for you to start questioning everything that you believe in. And one of the things that we share in our programs, especially the Discover Your Miracle Life program, is that your beliefs really aren't real. They're what your parents, what your society, what even your religion brought into your life, and you chose to believe them. You chose to accept the authority around you and believe those beliefs and take them forward. But now, are they serving you? Are they taking you in the direction of who you really are to be? And you truly are the creator of your life. And if you don't step up, if you don't find help, if you don't open the doors and find people to help escort you through those doors, you're kind of stuck in that place where I've got all these desires, but they're not happening for me. And nothing happens for you. Nothing happens to you. It happens because of you. So thank you very much for that story. That's pretty amazing. In our courses, we teach that a miracle is through an act of love, sharing your gifts and talents with the world so others can share theirs. And I know you're ready to step out into a new world. I know this, what I shared in your intro is really what you're just getting started with. So could you share with us how you plan to live and share your gifts and talents through the miracle of you?
Absolutely. As I stated before, it's not enough for me to be personally or professionally successful. I've taken it on as an obligation, a responsibility to ensure that every person, specifically, my heart, who I love to love on, are little girls and women who really need to understand the truth and the power of their own purpose and to embody that, to fully take it on. So a couple of things that I'm doing right now, I have decided to pause my coaching business. I have an organization called Fierce a Woman, and we help women do these exact things by understanding, discovering their true selfhood, going into organizing the goals and ideas that they have for their life. And then we break those down into smaller goals so that they can see the small calculated risks that they need to take to create that life that they truly desire. And so I've paused that business, but what I'm doing in addition to that now is hosting Clarity Think Parties. It's these 3 to 6 hour personal empowerment, personal hands-on deep dive experiences where we have them pour out their thoughts onto paper. We have them do activities and exercises that get them to start thinking about their lives, the small things, the small decisions that, when woven together, create this life. And then if you just keep taking the right decisions that align with the results that you want, it is inevitable that whatever you desire is going to happen regardless of what you face, whatever challenges come up. And then I am currently writing a book called Breakthrough Your Own BS. Breakthrough Your Own BS, which is belief system. And it's a small handbook because I'm not a big, thick book reader. I'm a thin, small, short, sweet, and powerful. And that's how I write my handbooks. And so I'm creating this book now where it's going to walk them through practical exercises that they can literally devour every day so that they can reprogram and begin to reset their thought patterns so that they can get a different result in their life. And so that's Breakthrough Your Own BS, your belief system. So I'm very excited about that project.
Great, great. Could you share with me a little bit? First of all, one of the things that I shared with you before we started the podcast today was that the Miracle You is all about helping people see that they're not alone. Through some of the work that you've done already with women, and men are not that much different, even though we want to think of that way in many different cases. But could you share with us on how some of the women, or where their holdups are, where their hangups are, what's holding them back? Because we're all experiencing things that are holding us back. And maybe if we see we're not alone in those things, it will help us learn more about ourselves and feel better about stepping forward.
Absolutely. One of the hardest decisions I think that most women, people face is the courage to take that look at themselves. It's the courage to own their mess and then commit to doing the actions that it takes. Understanding that it will not happen overnight because you didn't become this person that you are with your beliefs, whether they were imposed or whether you chose them. This didn't happen overnight. And so it's going to take time. It's going to take commitment. And so I just like to commend, everyone listening, and especially every woman, every man that I have worked with, because I work with select few men, that it takes courage first and foremost. And a lot of the things that I see that they're facing are, they definitely should know that you're not alone, but you have that sense of, I think, embarrassment that sometimes come through there, this resistance that you're going to be judged. And so the biggest things that I see is, one, they already feel like by looking, they're comparing themselves to others. And so when you compare yourself to other people, and honestly, I see my clients, they are comparing themselves to what they see on television and social media, not even those in their neighbors, not their coworkers necessarily, but they're looking at this broader view that society paints, saying that at this age, I'm supposed to have this, and at this age, I'm expected to have this. And so they're comparing themselves, and in their minds, they're not adding up. They're not meeting the standard. And it begins to diminish the power of their uniqueness, the power of the desires in their heart. It begins to cause them to diminish that. And so you can't operate out of a diminished area. That's a whole nother subject when they have this mindset of lack, this mindset of not really accepting and appreciating who they truly are. The second thing is, kind of segueing from that lack of appreciation, is that they really are operating out of self-hate. And that is a strong word. And it's been one of the things that I have personally battled with for years, saying, I don't really hate myself. Well, you can change the word to be whatever you want, but the actions is where the proof is. And so they're hating themselves out of their non-appreciation, out of their not understanding or discovering, taking the time to discover their own gifts, talents, abilities. They begin to hate what they have. And I know I have personally been there, where there were some times I didn't want to be the preacher that was preaching the heart message. I wanted to be the woman in the choir stand singing the beautiful lyrics. I literally, I'm looking at another person's gift, saying that I don't want this. I didn't appreciate it. So what am I saying? We're saying that, I don't appreciate what I have enough. I don't like what I have. I want something else. I see something else more valuable than I have. I don't value what I have. And so I can be very careful of my thinking. And a lot of my clients fall into that. And a lot of us, period, we fall into that area. And then lastly, is that lack of belief in themselves. And this is a big one for me. And I talk about this often. I tell people, because I'm in the faith community all the time, and I have individuals, and they talk about trusting the Creator and trusting God. And I said, no. Yes, it's good for you to trust the Creator and trust God. I said, but the bigger thing is you have to trust yourself. I said, trust God, but you got to trust yourself, because you can trust God all you want. But until you believe in yourself enough to take action, you will still be where you are, just trusting God. And that may seem harsh. And I get people come at me hard in my community because I view this. I believe that more of us need to tap in and own the divinity that is within us. Our Creator is not some guy just up high in the sky. He is within you. He lives in our heart. He lives in our mind. Literally, when I look in the mirror, I am looking at God. God is a spirit. Our Creator is a spirit. And he's wrapped in flesh. And so it's the spirit of God, the spirit of the universe, the spirit of Creator wrapped in flesh. And when you look in the mirror, you are looking at God. And so that is the third most powerful area. They have to believe in themselves. They have to trust themselves, understanding that, when you get this in right perspective, when you remove ego and pride, it is not you who are doing the works that you were doing, but it's the divine. It is the ultimate universal power of true source of God working in you and through you, your hands, your tongue, your eyes, your giftings, your talents. And you thank God, and you thank the Creator, and you thank the universe for gifting you in such a way to be able to contribute to not only your life, but the lives of others. And so I think I see those things all the time. And I think that overlaps many of our lives. I know my own life. I'm always reevaluating myself to ensure that, that I'm, reducing, reducing that in my life so that I can really elevate and really do the work that I know that I'm able to do and make the difference I know that I can make out here in my community, in society, in the world, in the universe.
All three of those were BS. All three of those were the belief system.
Yes.
And in really looking and understanding that your beliefs were formed by people telling you that, well, you could do this better, you're not living up there, you're not living up here. All of those things come together to really form a very strong belief system that's keeping us stuck. It's keeping us in the place that we are. And also the ego and the personality that we develop to protect ourselves. So the ego is really happy to use that, well, you're never going to amount to anything, those words in your head over and over again, because you've heard them enough as a child that, okay, yeah, you're not going to, so don't try this. Stay here. Be safe. Be comfortable. Stay in this place. You're just moving out into your new world. You're really just getting started. Share with us what you're going to do next. Something that maybe somebody has not even heard of yet. Something that you haven't told anyone else.
Oh, wow. Okay, this is first time right here on Miracle You, guys. And I'm excited and can't believe I'm saying it. Sometimes you don't say because you're not even really sure that, you don't want to put it out there and hold yourself accountable, and the universe holding you accountable. Miracle You is holding you accountable, but for the first time, I am working on a project called Body Celebrate. And I truly believe in it. I think it's something very incredible that's going to touch the lives of so many people. And I'm learning about this, as Vince has already shared with you all. I'm learning about metaphysics, the beyond the physical world. I like to refer to it as practical spirituality. What are the practical things that an individual can do to increase or bring more balance, spiritual balance into their lives? Because I truly understand that what you can't see is what you do see. The things, the thoughts that we have, they manifest in the lives that we are living right now. We're living the thoughts of last night, last month, last year. And so Body Celebrate, a little further in my backstory is I used to model. I was starting on a very beautiful modeling career. At the age of 15, I found out I was pregnant. And I didn't realize until that moment, I guess that's another wake-up call. I didn't realize until that moment how much of my identity I had wrapped up in me becoming a model, in that title, in the prestige of being a runway model. I had a legitimate agency that was just ready to invest this money, telling me I'm pretty and I'm this and I'm that. And at that time, I'm just this girl, one raised to a single mom, 4 girls living in the projects. And so that was a huge thing. And so when I found out I was pregnant, literally that opportunity vaporized. And I feel like I vaporized at the same time. I didn't know who I was anymore. And, for a long time, I was not confident in that anything good would come from my life. And I saw how strongly, after I had the baby, my body changed. I went from being like a size 0 to being a size 8. And stretch marks were everywhere. And, I know the women listening in, you all are totally identified, some mothers out there. My body just wasn't the same. And here I am, I had all my identity wrapped up in becoming this model. And it was stripped away because of a decision that I made. And my body changed. And I realized, not only was I living to sort of pay back or to prove to others that I am, that I can be what I said. If you say I could, and I'm going to show you that I could. So that's one part of that. But then the second part that lasted even longer than that is that I just hated the way that I looked. I didn't like the way I looked. And the more I looked at myself, it just further reiterated, that I wasn't good enough when I saw me, or, you're ugly, or they're going to look at you because they remember how pretty and skinny you were then, and they're going to see how much different you are now. It's just all these different things. And I can remember standing in front of the mirror most times, as a counselor told me, butt naked. I can remember telling myself that you are beautiful, you are enough, you are valuable, because of the stretch marks on your body has given opportunity for another life to come. And I can remember tears streaming down my face because I did not believe the words that I was saying, but I had written these words down for moments when I didn't believe it and it just couldn't flow out of my heart. I had to make myself, I had to reprogram myself. I had to push all the negativity out of my head so that I can make room for what I was reading until what I was reading became my reality. And so I began to walk in that and emboldened me and empowered me to feel differently. And because I was thinking more positive and I looked at myself from a physical place more positive, I began to have more positive manifestations in my life. This is at, 17 to 20, right before I started my business. And so I see right now, I meet so many women, they're in their 40s, they're in their 50s, and they're struggling with the same thing. When they work out, I say, why do you work out so hard? Because I hate the way my stomach looks, because my thighs are too big. And I look at not the physical effects, but I understand the psychological, emotional, mental effects that it's having on their money, on their health, on their relationships. They're only concerned with the look, but I'm like, oh my, if when you appreciate yourself and your uniqueness and understanding that whoever you are, wherever you are in this moment, that you are good enough, man, if you could just get that, it would just translate. It would just take over every other area of your life. And so Body Celebrate is designed to help individuals through a process of using words, reprogramming, what I like to call reprogramming thought treatments, using smell, using sounds, using scent. I said smell, so scents, and touch, tactile actions to reinforce their value, to increase their value. Even if they were like me, they didn't believe, but if they could just repeat, if they could just hear themselves say it, it'll begin to cause them to think different. And because they're thinking different, it would empower them to speak differently. And with speaking different, it was going to empower them to take different actions and begin to see this trickle down effect, this butterfly effect in their relationships, their businesses, their money, and through other areas of their lives. But it starts with a very outward physical acknowledgement of this is where I am. And it's not okay for me to feel this way about myself. I don't want to operate from a place of hate. I want to operate from love. Body Celebrate is going to do exactly that. So I'm very excited to finally share it here. Thank you, Vince, for the opportunity.
Excellent. Thank you for sharing it. And we're going to bring the collective energy of the imagination all together right now to help you bring Body Celebrate into the world. It's so exciting. And I know it's going to make a difference in so many lives. And what you shared with us about one part of our life affecting every part of our life is so powerful and so important for people to understand. Even when we concentrate on just our one successful part of our life, we don't realize that those things that we're not paying attention to on purpose, kind of pushing off to the side, are still affecting that piece of our life. So becoming whole, becoming the person that lives multidimensionally is very, very important. So thanks for sharing that. We got time for one lightning round question. Are you ready?
Absolutely.
Because you are the BS lady, share one personal belief that contributes to your happiness, health, and abundance right now.
One belief that contributes. It would definitely have to be a particular prayer treatment that I say often. And I say it and I kind of change it a little bit, but I want to read it as is here. So if you could just a second, I want to gather it here. And it's so beautiful. And I say this multiple times a day, and it simply says, my Creator has already richly supplied me with everything I need to succeed in life. I am confident. I am one with abundant prosperity, spiritually and financially, immediately, now, and eternally. And I just want to say that again. My Creator has already richly supplied me with everything I need to succeed in life. I am confident. I am one with abundant prosperity, spiritually and financially, immediately, now, and eternally. I say this no matter what I am faced with, whether it's a health challenge, whether it's a thought challenge, whether it's in a relationship, whether it's, me navigating resistance with trying out a new idea when self-doubt fills my head. My Creator has already richly supplied me with everything I need to be successful in this life. It is not our jobs to worry. It is not our jobs to panic. It is our jobs to trust and believe that our Creator has already richly supplied us with everything we need to succeed in this life. Whatever success is for your life, whatever your individual purpose is for this life, your Creator has already richly supplied you. No need to worry, fear, or have doubt. What you need to succeed is already within you.
Usually at this point, I ask what if there's a parting piece of guidance, but you just gave it. It's not our job to worry. It's not our job to panic. It's our job to trust, and it's our job to believe. That's awesome. Thank you. It's very important for us to take that forward in our lives, and I really appreciate you sharing it with us. I know there's a bunch of people out there that want to connect with Tye Miles. Can you tell them how they can get in touch with you and where they can find you on several different medias?
Absolutely. First and foremost, you can go online. You can find me at tyemiles.com. It's TYEMILES.com. Also, you can follow me on social media. That's you can find me on Instagram, LinkedIn, or Facebook, and it's at the Tye Miles, at the Tye Miles. And so I can't wait to see and connect with you guys and learn a little bit more about each of you. And Vince, thank you so much. It has definitely been a blessing and a pleasure to be here with you and the Miracle You Tribe.
As they say, the best things are worth waiting for, and we've waited a couple of weeks to make this all come together. So I really appreciate you being here. Thank you for your words of guidance. Thank you for sharing who you are and what you are bringing to the world. We truly appreciate it. On behalf of Mary, my business partner, my wife, we want to wish you a very miracle day.
Thank you, and same to you.
You've completed this episode of The Miracle You, but we have plenty more to help you discover your own personal passion and purpose. Head over to themiracleyou.com for free resources to assist you on your journey, as well as register for our free webinar, Discover Your Miracle Life, 3 mind-awakening steps toward your unique purpose, or apply for a one-on-one Your Life, Your Way breakthrough session and discover your next best step on your journey. All available exclusively on our website. That's themiracleyou.com. We look forward to sharing more experiences of passion, purpose, and life by design next time, right here on The Miracle You.